pesticides, insecticides that are sprayed on our food. And a toxicologist, I read a report, this very famous world famous toxicologist once said, the body can handle a little bit over a short period of time, but when you're bombarded day after day, and you get it in your food, in your water, in the air you breathe, no wonder everybody has cancer. Wow.
How does the medical establishment handle cancer patients?
From my perspective, what I have seen through my own family and friends and students, the very antiquated, obsolete type of treatment, a very poor treatment with either chemotherapy, radiation, or surgery, or a combination of all three. And the problem here is we've known for a very long time that cancer has a very low success rate. Or let's put it this way, it has a high failure rate. It's a 96 to 98% failure rate. In my own family, it has a 100% failure rate. And interesting enough, if you ask doctors, and they did this, they took a poll of several hundred doctors, and they asked them, if you've got cancer, would you take chemotherapy? And the answer was no, absolutely not. And again, you have to understand that chemotherapy only works on a few kinds of cancers, but yet it's dealt out across the board. So they say you're cancer, oh, chemotherapy, you have to take chemotherapy, you're going to die. And that's how it's handled. There's one other thing. This completely flabbergasted me when my sister was having chemotherapy treatment. The people who work in the centers offered her the very substance that feeds cancer, and that is sugar. They offered her cookies and candies and sodas. The late Peter Jennings was eating ice cream when he was taking his chemotherapy. Cancer feeds on sugar, and when I said that to an oncologist once, she said, oh, that's simplifying it way too much. Well, no, it's not. Because what happens is, if you've ever known anyone who has cancer, they tend to get very thin very quickly. And they become emaciated looking almost overnight. And what's happening is cachexia. And cachexia is a cycle. It's where whatever this person who now has an abundance of cancer cells in their body eats is turned to sugar, or they're eating sugar. The sugar is then converted to lactic acid in the liver, and then back to sugar again. So you have this vicious cycle. The tumor is being fed, the patient is not. And so basically the patient is dying of malnutrition. We've known since the 1930s, that hydrogen sulfate stops the enzyme in the liver that causes cachexia. But I never heard that when my family was diagnosed. It resurfaced again in 1970 that hydrogen sulfate is needed to stop cachexia. Not one doctor that I've ever known has ever said, we need to do this treatment. We need to stop the cycle so that you can be well. All they ever said to my family was, eat whatever you want so you can be, gain weight. Eat whatever. That's the worst thing you can do.
Karen, why is chemotherapy often presented as the only option for treating cancer symptoms?
Oh my goodness. All over the internet right now, the biggest news story is the pharmaceutical industry
making money
bribery. One of the biggest pharmaceutical companies was accused of bribing doctors to push their drugs. They were found guilty. They were found guilty of bribing doctors, and they were fined $3 billion. Now, to us, $3 billion sounds like an enormous amount of money. To them, it's a drop in the bucket. When this company makes in excess of $33 billion a year, $3 billion is nothing. And so the answer to that is greed. It's all about money. The industry has gone from cancer has gone from being just a disease to a multi-billion-dollar industry. And unfortunately, people have become the cash cows that keep this industry going. And chemotherapy makes a lot of money for doctors who prescribe it and, of course, for the industry.
Many drugs, Karen, have a long list of side effects, including death, but yet natural alternatives are almost always attacked as being unproven or wacky. Why?
Well, there's many reasons. Again, going back to the money side of it, they can't make, these kinds of natural things cannot make money for the industry. So they're always poo-pooed as not being, oh, it won't work. The late great Linus Pauling, he was the 2-time Nobel Prize winner in chemistry. He's a remarkable man. He developed cancer, and the doctors told him without chemotherapy he was going to die. And he did his research. He knew. He took intravenous vitamin C in large quantities to what they call bowel power. And he was able to beat this cancer. All the doctors who told him he was going to die died before he did. So then, when people ask to use this treatment, the answer is, oh, it doesn't work. So the industry decided to replicate what Linus Pauling did, or so they said replicate. What they did is they used a different form of vitamin C and showed, oh, it doesn't work. Well, in science, we know that when you perform an experiment, you do not change variables. It's not the same experiment. And so they tried to say it didn't work. It all goes back to the fact that, and this was Dr. Pauling too, he said, give your body what it needs and it will heal itself. It's called orthomolecular medicine. The industry doesn't want us to know about that. They don't want us to know that there are natural ingredients, that God has given us everything we need to be healthy. Karen, I was going to touch on that. When God created us, He created us for this forever. So everything that we need, that it's right, it's inside of us. It's here. We don't have to manufacture it. It's here. Exactly.
Why they get rid of the oranges?
What most of it is new to dedicate so much time over so many years to cancer and cancer research.
All these trees get
I was 10 years old
they won't eat from them.
when I first heard the word
The people
cancer.
are so and buy the same oranges.
And my very most favorite uncle died from this beast.
Because it's healthy.
And then it was an aunt that died. And then it was my father. And my mother. And my sister. And I don't know, I just felt led to research and learn as much as I could so that it wouldn't take any more of my family members, not my children, my husband, not my friends. And it's been an eye-opener studying this, what was once a disease, but now an industry. So that was the motivation.
Tell me about fear.
Fear is cancer's greatest weapon. When a doctor says to you, you've got cancer, you're going to die.
Yeah.
My sister said it was like being punched in the stomach. She couldn't even breathe. She was petrified. And fear is cancer's greatest weapon. And nobody can tell you when you're going to die. It's not, God didn't make us that way. We are human beings and everybody will die, but fear, what it does to the person is it tightens every muscle in the body. You don't breathe. My sister said she couldn't breathe. You have to breathe. Cancer hates oxygen. You've got to fight that fear. But that's the weapon that they use to talk people into chemotherapy, and they tell them, oh, this is all we have. But certainly not. You have to realize that if you have cancer, you have to relax. There was a man, his name was Norman Cousins. They told him he had cancer and he was going to die. He chose vitamin C, intravenous vitamin C, and laughter. And he laughed his way out of it. The vitamin C saved him. There have been people who
Everything your body's
put
alive,
themselves
so react to what
alone
you do.
just by calling on God's scripture and claiming a victory. Nobody can tell you you're going to die, so fighting that fear is so important. It's imperative to beating cancer.
Carol, you know, on that, I'm going to just ask you one question because we need to find some joy in all of this. What can I do? What can you do? What can we do? What can we do to protect our family from cancer? Oh, the most important thing you can do is read labels. If you can't pronounce something that's in your food,
That means
in the packaged food, obviously it's not supposed to be in that diet, aside from vitamins. And but they always put those in parentheses and say this is vitamin D or whatever. Read the label. Stay away from hydrogenated oils and partially hydrogenated oils. They actually tear the body up from the inside out.
What?
What I do to protect myself from cancer and what I encourage my children to do is to keep my body alkaline. Cancer cells can't survive in an alkaline environment. We take vitamins. We take good vitamins. We take vitamin D3 especially because when you are diagnosed with cancer, if they check your blood, they're going to find that your vitamin D3 level is very low. And vitamin D3 causes a programmed cell death of cancer cells. Nobody tells you that, though. Vitamin E is also excellent for fighting cancer, as is grapeseed oil. So what we do is we make sure that we try to eat as much raw as we can. You know, your body is alive. You need live food. You eat dead food, dead body. So, you know, you push towards raw food. We also take protease enzymes. And it's interesting that 85% of the body, or the communication among the cells, is done through enzymes. Protease enzymes in particular hunt down cancer cells. Cancer protects itself by putting a protein coat over the cell so that your own immune system doesn't attack it. But a proteolase enzyme on an empty stomach eats protein. So it'll take that coating off, opening the cancer cell up for your own immune system to take it out. And then we laugh. We laugh all the time. We get sunshine. I know doctors say don't get any sunshine. You need 20 minutes of sun a day. Sun is vital. You drink water that's been purified. Stay away from plastic bottles, things like that. Try to eat organic when you can. And just live life and be happy. And don't fear it. That which you fear most will come to you. So don't fear it. Carol, thank you so very much for informing us today that there is an alternative. There are alternatives. You do not need to exercise some of that. So thank you. Knowledge is power. Thank you for being with us. And remember, the joy, even over cancer, is in the solution. If you would like more information on today's topic, you can contact our guest using the phone number or web address on the screen.
People, you know the drill. Generosity, pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
By all means, I am.
Why not you? Consider adopting an older child, because children never outgrow the need for parents.
Welcome to Joy in Our Town. My name is Jennifer Ann Richardson, and I'm your host.